skills. Right. So basically, obviously, we've got this vision now of how we've got to produce technically excellent players, individual players with exceptional communication and decision-making skills, and intelligent players with the ability to problem solve, who have a great ethic and strive every day to be the best they can be. Vision's plastered everywhere. I'm wondering, as within the foundation stage, as coaches, how do you think you can develop? What parts of it do you think you can develop there? How do you think you can develop? You know what I mean by that?
How do I think I can develop the?
So in terms of setting our kids on that way to
on that way to that vision,
creating that as a final thing, how do we start at the foundation phase?
At foundation phase, you've got to. God, it's a funny one because for me, the first thing when they come in, you've got to make sure they enjoy it.
Yeah.
Then you've got a chance. If they're enjoying it, they will be good learners. If they're not enjoying it, they won't. So I think you've got to really hammer home technique. For me, I think you've got to hammer home technique, how they receive the ball, and then your ball mastery stuff is compulsory. And I think for me now, it's changed a lot because I think now we sort of know where we're going. We sort of know, we've got the philosophy and we know where we're heading for. Before we're all a bit mixed up, but we know where we're going now. So the things we need, our philosophy is playing through the third, so we need players that are comfortable in possession, will receive the ball, play without fear, things like that. So that's what we promote.
So you're massive into the technical side of things of going down into how we receive it and how we
how they receive. I think it's big. It's how they receive the ball, and are they comfortable? They're not afraid. You want to make sure they're not afraid to try things, and that, for me, that's what's important in foundation phase, and plus, like we keep saying that word, good learner, got to be a good learner.
Is that linked to, you just mentioned then about how we've got to make sure they're not afraid to try? Is that kind of linked to your whole idea of helping players problem solve and make decisions?
Yeah, that's linked to that. Like I said before, now with our under nines, they're good. We've got lads in there that can dribble for fun.
Yeah.
We don't stop them dribbling. They work it out themselves.
Good.
These lads have worked it out themselves. Years gone by, people would have said, no, come on, you could have passed it then. But we don't, I've told all the good coaches now, we've got lads that have got imagination, creativity, good dribblers. Yeah. Make sure we keep that, and they work it out themselves. Sonny Pickup, prime example. Just to dribble, go back, beat somebody else. Now he's beating a man, playing 1-2s, and we haven't told him. He's just worked it all out. So
would you say that's important to you, having a kid who dribbles?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, important to me that dribblers. There's not a lot. They're not, is there? They didn't know. Where are they? You know what I mean? They're not, we've got to make sure I've had this conversation with Mark, and he said, if you get dribblers coming in, we need to keep them, that they are dribblers and that they are creative, they show imagination, and nobody sucks that out of them. We can't have that. But we've got some really good dribblers, but that's my thing with foundation phase, starting with even with the pre-academy 8s, going into 9s. These are the things we've got to promote.
So comfortable on the ball.
Comfortable on the ball, yeah. And if I were going out looking for a player, what I'd be looking at now is he good, how he moves.
Okay.
Yeah, as well. I'd be looking how he moves, how he runs with the ball, out of possession, in possession.
So in terms of that, how he moves, are we talking from a physical point of view, or are we talking from like a tactical support point of view?
Well, from technical, I'd say technical, physical.
Yeah.
Because you can see it's like Harry you've got now. Straight away I've seen Harry. How Harry runs with ball. Now he's gonna be a good player.
Yeah.
He just moves well with the ball, and also he's got good feet. It's just these little things that you look for.
Yeah.
That's important to me. How they move with the ball. I think it's going the way now where the speed's important as well. Even from that age, that's the way it's going now. One time people just said, "Oh, he's technically good." nobody never bothered about how he moved or anything like that.
Yeah.
Now I think it's how they move and are they going to be quick, and you can see that. You can see that 9-year-old, 8-year-old. It's just the way they move, and then it's just all the extra training they get.
So I've noticed that you just mentioned it then, basically, where you talked about we want good movers, and we've got guys who look comfortable with the ball. And and you also talked previously about how you really emphasise on letting them dribble and focusing on ball mastery. Would you say, in terms of the raw materials, you feel that if we go out and find good movers and guys who are quick and look comfortable moving that, when they come into our environment, technically I can do a lot for them? Is that what you?
Yeah.
Is that what you feel?
Yeah, I think the earlier you get them in,
the
more chance you've got. You know what I mean? You have, because for me, when they all come into this environment, you can't not improve.
Yeah.
You can't. It's just impossible for me that you can't improve. So, like I said there, if a lad, if you see that he can move, and he's got a good work ethic, he gets up and down the pitch, you can put all the other things into him.
Yeah.
I'm telling you now, you definitely can. Yeah. So
just on that, and we moving on. In terms of players coming in and signing in our foundation stage, in terms of them progressing from the foundation and going onwards, what do you think? What challenge do you think players face, or what obstacles might they face in terms of stopping them?
Once they come out of the foundation,
it could be any point from signing on with you to then staying with the club. Moving on to the under 12s into the youth.
So they're coming out of foundation phase.
What do you think stops them progressing?
I think it's sometimes I think it goes too tactical. That's
okay.
Yeah, I do. I think it goes too tactical. I think where before they've had this bit of freedom of expression, all of a sudden gets into youth phase and it's all about shape and things like that, and then we're forgetting about, hang on a minute, this lad can actually play, this lad can dribble.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm not a lover of the 11v11. I don't think you should be playing 11v11 until they're about 13, 14. I think it should be 9v9 right through to about 13.
Yeah.
And then these lads don't get lost in the, because they get sort of, all of a sudden this lad who was he bossed the games and was the main player and thing, he gets onto this big pitch, this 11v11 pitch, and it's working on, then they start working on his covering and his tactical awareness, which you can drip feed it into him, but I just think once he gets into that youth phase, it becomes a bit too tactical, and where there's a lad that might dribble, he might dribble, but when his dribbling might knock the team out of shape. Well, they won't have that. If you know what I mean, he might do a dribble that, but it's one that I've said before. I've said it to Dave. I've said it to Bridgie. I've openly said it that I think that it just becomes a bit too tactical too early.
I mean, you've already said how you enjoy letting players have a dribbling. I know for a fact that you play a lot of small-sided games in your system. So in terms of that, talking about being too tactical. If you take that away from your environment, which I'm assuming that you kind of have because you talked about it earlier, that's the environment that's there. What do you think stops a player from when he comes in, maybe from a personal point of view or a social point of view, in terms of his circumstances? In your experience, what kind of what do you feel has stopped certain players progressing through your
through the phase? I'd tell you what, there's not many that haven't progressed. I'd say.
What challenges do you think in life?
I think sometimes the speed of the game sometimes catches up with some lads. Some players develop a bit quicker, become a bit more. So some of them get physically challenged. Where maybe they came in at 9, everything's all right. 10s, it's getting a bit more physical now, so some lads are getting left behind, but yet he's still technically good. 11s, the pitches are bigger, and I think sometimes it stops. The pitches just get a bit bigger, and you've got to sort of, can you grow with what's happening?
So it's that ability to adapt.
Yeah. And can you adapt with everything year after year? through the phases, and you get some. I've seen lads come in, and where they were, everything were all right under 9s, under 10s, struggled, but we've stuck with them, and then it all comes back again under 11s.
What's kept you sticking with them? Is it just that faith in the technical?
Yeah, because the technical ability. Yeah, the technical ability.
Yeah.
Which, like I always say, you never turn technique down. You try and work with it, and you give them a chance. I would say you give them a chance, and especially at foundation phase, I think you give them as long as you can. Rare that we release lads, that I release lads at 9, even 10.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, unless it's really, it could be something like you mentioned, it could be something social or something, you know, it could be behaviour, even the family circumstances that's impacting on how they play and things like that. I think that's the only time I've released any players, really, on that. So, yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah. That's interesting. So just on that, I mean, everything we've had a decent conversation there. If we were to kind of summarise it all together, and you said it earlier in the conversation, actually, where you said if I was going out looking for players, if scouts were going to go out and look for players in that foundation phase, based on what we know, the environment we've got, and the challenges they face, you know that. What do you think the raw materials are that are kind of essential to players coming into the foundation phase and progressing?
The raw material coming in at 7, 8 year old.
What do you think?
Or any?
A scout sends a player in.
Yeah.
What needs to be in that player?
I'd say in that player.
Because you've already mentioned the movement.
Yeah, I said the movement, and then I think you could. I've done the scout myself.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying I'm brilliant, but I've seen players where I can see the mentality on the pitch. You look at the mentality on the pitch, and you see things. You watch them for 10, 15 minutes, and you can see. Hang on a minute. Yeah. I think it's the mentality, because, like you say, coming from grassroots into this environment, it's daunting.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to be a kid sometimes, you know what I mean? But it's daunting coming into this environment.
So you've got to be mentally tough to go into this.
Yeah, you've got to be tough. I think. Got to have that personality. It's personality and stuff. You know, it's a strong personality. Without being over exuberant, but I think if I went out watching somebody and I were a scout, I'd be looking at the behaviour on the pitch.
What are you wanting to see in that behaviour? You know
what I wanted to see in that behaviour?
We know that he's mentally strong and he's got a personality. What are we seeing?
You'd see things like, for me, his behaviour would be not naughty behaviour.
Yeah.
It'd be stuff like. You know, if his team's losing, he's still knocking at the door.
Yeah.
He tries to influence the game, and you can tell. I can tell a shy player to a player that's, hang on, he's got academy credentials.
So you feel they need to have that extroversion in them?
Yeah. Just, you know, some of them are introverts, some of them are extroverts, but you can be an introvert but still be a bit.
Still want to influence.
Yeah. You can still, you know what I mean, though.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So you think that? I mean, you just mentioned then about that when kids are losing games, he's still knocking on the door.
Yeah.
Would you say that's a good time to really see a player when that challenge is facing the losing the game?
Yeah. When they're losing a game, or if the team's losing, and you always know you see a team losing and he might be the best player in the team, and then you look at what's his mentality, what's his behaviour like, and a lot of lads that I've brought in, or when I've been out in summer, I've seen lads where they're trying to influence the game all the time, and that's the player for me that you sort of bring in. That's me.
Brilliant.
You know, so.
Well, that's class, I think. I've pretty much answered every question I wanted to answer.
Yeah.
Do you think there's anything that you feel needs to be mentioned still, or do you think?
What to?
Just something you feel I've not touched that you'd like, because obviously we're going to try and try and inform our scouts.
Yeah.
I mean, if it helps make
like I said before, I don't know, for me,